Hey guys, Rich from Richmond Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. And yeah, it's fair to say that now I am fully back into Legion with 2 full feet. I have expanded my Shadow Collective set, so I've bought 2 new starter sets. So it gives me the option to run either full Pike or indeed full Black Suns. I don't really like the idea of mixing and matching them. But I also picked up a couple of the A-A5 speeder trucks as well. These were originally just for the Empire. You can now use them for the or in the Battle Force for the Syndicate as well. So yeah, I thought we'd do a quick unboxing video, take a look at what's inside the box, and then see what options we've got in terms of loadout. Okay then guys, so here we go, the A-A5 speeder truck unit expansion. It's the one that does look a little bit like a minibus. I'm not a huge fan of the actual overall design of this one, but it is what it is. It is accurate to the movies and other such things. You can see it's full of the rebel symbols, just purely because that's what it was originally intended for. Only recently have you been able to use it outside of there. Yeah, let's we do get some alternative assembly options, it says as well. So let's open it up. Let's see what we get in the box. This is still a model that was designed by Fantasy Flight Games. So we still haven't had yet the first models actually designed by Atomic Mass Games. I believe, I want to say that that will be the new Boba Fett, so the sort of Mandalorian series version of Boba Fett. But let's take a look and see what is in the box then, and if they fall into the trap, which they don't seem to. That's actually quite a full box with what looks like quite a lot of plastic, and there is actually quite a lot of plastic in there. We've got all of our cards in there as well, and because this is an older model, and this is actually comes with a proper instruction manual. So these things are a relic of the past. Seems fairly straightforward, and the one thing I will say as well is that it looks like there's some sub-assembly options, because I think as we'll get into the plastic parts, there's going to be some interior to this that is potentially visible as well. So when we go through that, we'll take a look and see. We'll move the cards to one side for a moment. What are these here? And we've got the big base. So that's, I can't remember the name of it, but that's the same base that the sort of Legion or the Imperial tank thing comes on as well. I can never remember the name of it. I do have one, just can't remember the name of it. This looks like it's going to be a clear plastic windshield, and then yeah, that's going to be a clear plastic sort of base holder for it as well. A lot of plastic, and a lot of thick plastic as well. So how many screws are we looking at here? Quite a few. What it doesn't look like is that there is lots and lots of tiny pieces. I'm not a fan when you have to put hundreds and hundreds of pieces together. So only 6 sprues, which is pretty good. And you know, whilst yes, there are some little pieces here and there, actually the main bulk of this is single large big pieces, which I always think helps for a number of things. I think it helps with just the building time. You don't have to mess about as much. It also helps a hell of a lot when it comes to the stability of the unit as well. You know, if this is in 3 pieces, it's a lot harder to actually put together and, you know, get it rigid and everything else. I always do use plastic glue. I have started using, let me just show you this one. So I have started using the normal Tamiya cement, especially for models, not the extra thin stuff. That's not for models, sorry, for vehicles. I think it just works a little bit better, but obviously you can use whatever you want. Okay, so let's take a look then and see what else comes in here, cards and tokens wise. So we've obviously got the token deck here. Obviously, this token for me is not going to be usable because I'm not playing with Rebels. I don't play Rebels, but I did get the updated token, the sort of yellow rimmed one that comes for the the Syndicate, or the Shadow Collective, I should say, Battle Force, so I will be using that one. So you've got the A-A5 Speeder Truck card. I'm going to compare these two side by side to see if there is any difference between the two, but let's just pop that there for the moment. Now, I know some of these are going to be Imperial only, but let's check these out first. You've got heavy laser retrofit, and then you've got a quad laser option on there as well. Now, these are going to be the ones that are the Rebel only. So this is Sheriff Sergav, Rebel only, and it's going to be Field Commander. So you gain Field Commander. After a friendly neutral command card is played, you may be nominated as a commander. So that's pretty interesting. You've got Hotshot Pilot, so the Wookiee pilot. Rebel only again. And this is repulsor vehicle only as well. So you get two of those in there. Reckless Driver. So this is going to be a driver for it. When you activate, perform a compulsory move. You cannot reverse. The first time during your activation that you displace an enemy unit, roll 1 white defense die for each mini in the unit. That unit suffers 1 wound for each block result. So that's quite interesting. We've got another Rebel only one here. So Outer Rim Speeder Jockey. Gain cover 1 while defending. So that's another driver. We get 2 of them. The refurbished Gonk droid. So this is going to give you basically shield. So you get shielded 2. You can use this in the land speeder as well. So the speeder truck and the land speeder, but it doesn't state that it is only for rebels, which is good because it does mean if I want to put a shield on my truck, I can do. So we're going to get 2 of them as well. Unstable astromech. End of your activation, perform an attack or a move, then roll 3 black dice and suffer 1 for each. And it does say attack as well, so that does mean that you can perform 2 attacks with it. And if we do upgrade it with that, well, either of them really, but I do like that quad laser. Those 6 dice with impact 2 feels quite nice indeed. So we're going to be getting 2 of them, but it is only a single use because you can see the cross there. I believe that's what that means. Unorthodox Tactician. So I'll zoom in there. At the start of the activation phase, roll 3 red defense dice for each block and surge result. Choose a different friendly unit that you are transporting at range 1 to 3. Each of the unit gains 1 aim token. That's pretty cool. And then I think the one that I'll be using it most for is going to be the Backworld Medic. So especially those Mandalorians. So remove 1 wound or poison token for a minute, or restore 1 minute to a friendly non-droid trooper unit that you are transporting, or at range 1 and in line of sight. Then roll 2 white defense dice. That unit gains 1 suppression token for each. So I think keeping those expensive Commando Mandalorians alive is going to be really key. So I think I can see myself using the Backworld Medic. Onboard comms channel. This is going to be a comms upgrade. You may issue an order to a unit you are transporting. That's quite nice. And then linked targeting array. We've seen that card before. So what I want to do is just take a quick look then and compare these 2 cards that we've got. Okay then guys, so as you know, I'm going to be using this truck with my Shadow Collective. So it means I need to use this version of the card. And I do like, and I didn't notice before, it does have some slightly different artwork. I don't know if that's on the back as well. Maybe we can see that a little bit clearer on the back. So it may give you a little idea of what you can use paint job wise. The only thing I would say is that it does look very different, doesn't it? If you look at the front line here versus the front line here, this looks a lot more rounder, this looks a lot more square. And we do actually get one of the I want to say it's the A-A5s, I can't remember the name of it, but the GAR get, is it the GAR that get them, I think, in the background. So I don't know if that's going to be something that comes in the future as well, but I will be going, I think, for an alternative paint job, something slightly darker, just to differentiate the fact that it is not for the Rebel Alliance, or maybe do do a couple of different paint jobs because I do have 2 of these. So there's absolutely no difference on the card whatsoever. So if you see there, points cost is identical, and I did just check on Tabletop Admiral and they are exactly the same. It's got armor, it's got hover ground, reposition, transport 1 closed, and then weak point 2 rear. 8 and 6. So yeah, everything is absolutely identical for it. The difference then are the different units that we can have in here. So if we look at the 3 options that you get for the rebels, those over ever so slightly. So the 3 options here are for the rebels, and then these are the 2 options for the I was going to say Darth Maul's Force then, which is probably how I will play them. But yeah, so they are absolutely identical. I will be painting mine up slightly differently. So this is usually the part, guys, where I would say, and you know, I'm going to go away and make this now and come back to you when it's all done. But through the magic of actually having 2 of these and building it up beforehand, I can do it right away for you here. And I've got to say, it's a model that looks a hell of a lot nicer in person than it actually does on the artwork, I think. I actually was really, really impressed with this model. Went together very, very easily. Really, really easy to put together. You could snap everything in place beforehand, and you'll see how easy that is in a second. But yeah, everything snapped together very, very easily. Went together, you know, really, really nicely. Few mold lines here and there, but other than that, yeah, pretty good. Now, the reason I said it snaps together very easily, I'm just going to move this out of the way a second, is I have not completely glued this together. So we've got the 2 gun options here. So we've got the quad laser, and then we've got the heavy laser retrofit here. Now, I won't glue them down because I will swap between the 2 depending on what I'm taking. I haven't glued in the windshield yet. I haven't glued in the little commander. One thing I would really like are some alternative sculpts. If anybody knows any 3D printing companies that have some of the alternative sculpts to go in here as pilots, yeah, I'd really like that. So I'd really love to get that frenzied gunner, which is the one I can see myself using the most. So yeah, that'd be really cool. If anybody did know of that, just let me know down in the comment section below, or drop me a note. Now, I did mention that in here there are a number of different parts, so I've actually only sort of snapped that together because I will be painting this up as a sub-assembly. And you'll see why in a moment when I take all of the different parts off. I'll show you this really quickly. So you do get 2 options for the doors. You can have them completely closed like I've got them that side, or you can have them open like I've got them that side. They are glued in place. I'm sure you could magnetize them some way, but far above my pay grade. We then get the interior. In fact, let's take the rest of it. Also got the sort of repulsor pack at the back, I suppose, or the engines, I should say. And then we've got the chassis underneath. So I'll be priming all of these separately. And then I put this... Oh, that comes off there as well. I've also didn't glue down the seats. They are in quite well. There we go. So I can paint the seats separately, and not having the seats in there just makes it so much easier to get in there and paint these bits. You could go one step further. You could not even build this, and you could just do each of these individually as well, but we're only going to be seeing a small part of this, so I figured it didn't need a particularly good paint job, at least in this part. Obviously in this part we'll put a little bit of effort into there, but yeah, overall, guys, really impressed with it. Big shout out to Ellis and James over at Elysium Wargames, because they ordered all of these for me, and yeah, if you want any Star Wars Legion stuff, go check them out. There'll be a link down in the description below, and they offer some really good discounts, up to 25% discounts off Star Wars Legion, which is yeah, you're going to be hard pushed to try and find anything else. But let's jump back over to the other camera and I'll give you my final thoughts. Well, there we go, guys. That is a really quick box opening and run through of the A-A5 speeder. Overall, guys, like I said, I really like the model. I was not convinced at all by viewing artwork for it, but actually now I've got it open, now I've got it built. Super easy model to put together, really, really well designed. Lots of options for it, which is really nice. And as I say, I will be looking at painting mine in a slightly different colour. I am thinking of one of them to be sort of black Sunsy, and then the other one to be designed maybe with Maul and his Mandalorians in mind. So that sort of black, dark grey with some red accents in there as well. I don't want it to look too much like the A-Team truck, though. That's my only concern on that one. Guys, super excited to tell you about the giveaway that we have running. If you haven't gone and watched our battle report yet, or our battle reports, I should say, it's a 4-part campaign, Operation Deep Jungle, in collaboration with Paul Foxhound over on Paul Rose Dice. Yes, we got some rules wrong, but do you know what? We had a great day. 4 games back to back. We recorded them all for your pleasure. And to celebrate the fact that we are starting to do Star Wars Legion content on the channel, we are giving away a Shadow Collective starter set. These things are like rocking horse shit at the moment in terms of how hard they are to get hold of. I had to get Ellis to order me some extra ones because, yeah, I couldn't find them anywhere, or at least they were selling out very, very quickly. So, yeah, we're going to be giving one of those away to one lucky viewer. There's a little bit of work you need to do for it, guys. It's a big prize, but I've hidden some letters in the 4 battle reports. That the 4th one may or may not be out by the time this video goes live. I'm not entirely sure of the timings yet. But yeah, so they're hidden within the 4 battle reports. There's some letters. Those letters make a Star Wars related word. And then once you've got the word, you need to just DM me on Discord the word, and you'll go into the prize draw. And then at some point, probably before the end of the month, in fact, definitely before the end of the month, we will hold the prize draw. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we will get your Shadow Collective starter set over to you. Maybe in the form of a PayPal payment, and you go get it yourself, because if you're in the US or something, one of those boxes can be 40 quid to ship, so it's just not worth doing it. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for me. If you've liked this video in any way, shape or form, please leave a like. It really, really does help. If you want to support the channel even further, we have our Patreon. Go check out the Discord. There's some Star Wars Legion content in there, and keep an eye out, guys. We are starting a monthly video podcast dedicated to Star Wars Legion. Haven't picked a name for it yet, so if you want to give me some name suggestions, let me know down in the comment section below. But we have got a bumper episode to kick things off with not 1, not 2, but 3 special guests. Paul's going to be there as well. He's sort of going to be co-hosting a lot of the Legion stuff with me, but Paul's going to be there, plus 3 other guests, big people from the Star Wars Legion community. So really, really great to have them on board. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see to find out who that is. And guys, as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, may the Force be with you.